consistency. We're looking for growth. We're looking for a way to finish. They do that here. Here's a glance at the performers at the 133 class as Knox and Latona get ready to go at it for our second match of the day. Knox, who's a true freshman, fresh off a semifinal showing in that Cliff Keen Invitational. He was the only unseeded wrestler in the semifinals and was edged by number 2 seed and 8th ranked Evan Frost of Iowa State, 2-1 in another tightly contested match.
Yeah, I mean, Stanford's got a lot of great athletes on their team, a lot of good wrestlers, and Coach Ayers even talked about they got a lot of different body types, different styles, so it's fun to watch. And so does Virginia Tech. They got tall guys, short guys, scramblers, kind of in-your-face wrestlers. So that leads to a lot of exciting matchups.
Tony Roby talks about the disciplined nature of Sam Latona with that 6 beside his name and a 7-1 record to this point. He said, the effort you're going to get out of him each time he takes the mat. They're looking for him to make those season adjustments that he has been known for. But anytime you hear a coach say, you always feel good about being on his side, sitting in his corner, and you hear the nod to the discipline and the work ethic, it speaks to how high they are on Latona. And he gets a chance to follow up what we just saw a moment ago in the tone setter from Flynn, and here we go.
In on a single leg here. He's trying to cut across. Knox is pretty flexible with that defense. Comes across the top of the head here, he's looking for a stalemate position, but Latona's doing a good job. Got the head to the side, trying to rally both those legs together. He's got that bottom leg hooked, which isolates his scrambling ability.
Out of a difficult spot, Latona on Knox.
There's 2 points.
Latona for the second consecutive match able to push out front as he secures the 3. Even we got to keep up with that these days, right?
That's
a little
right.
bit of an adjustment.
That's right.
And you go into arenas around the country and you hear them, Coach, they're saying 2, 2, 2.
Did I say 2?
It's an adjustment for everybody. But a big 3.
Been saying that for 20-some years.
That's what I'm saying. You're still hearing it chanted in a lot of buildings around the country these days.
Exactly.
And but a big 3 in a second consecutive match. Boy, you talk about the start Virginia Tech was looking for and the challenge that was placed out in front of this squad as they returned to duels by Tony Roby. Boy, look no further than these 2 beginnings.
That's right. Yeah, these takedowns are huge.
3-1 is the Latona advantage right now as the closing seconds of the opening period pass us by. So through a match plus, so far so good for the Hokies.
Latona's taken down here. Has a chance to build his lead.
It's a weight class that from time to time, Knox, who's really improving, Latona getting.
Knox putting the leg in right away. Looks pretty comfortable. Latona does a great job of switching in and shaking that leg off, getting the reversal.
Determination too there. Here's 5-1 the advantage all of a sudden.
Knox to his feet.
Takedown and a reversal for Latona to this point.
5-2 Latona now.
Yep, able to pick up 1 there for Knox on the escape. But you see in this snapshot really, in many ways, Daryl, just how much of a difference the 2-3 push that we've talked about makes, because you have the escape there, but the takedown earlier giving the breathing room to Latona as a reward for what he was able to accomplish.
Oh, definitely. I mean, it definitely creates more excitement, more incentive to work for that score.
Just a minute left here in the second period.
And I'm sure coaches, they talk about, I mean, their wrestlers are going to get in the position to get that major decision a lot more often. And they got to kind of get that mentality where when they do get striking distance, they got to go for it, get those extra team points.
So talk overall dual scenarios just a little bit. You mentioned it. It doesn't matter who's on the other side. You want to win these. You want to walk away with a W when all is said and done. Chances for bonus points today, they'll really be focused on.
Definitely, yeah. I mean, this time of year, you're looking for individual development. You're starting to pinpoint the little things each guy has to do to get better, to get the next level by the end of the year. But that's probably the main thing they're looking for. But yeah, they want to win that duel. I mean, Virginia Tech's looking to represent themselves well in home, and Stanford came all the way across the country, so they want to come across and get a big win against the Hokies.
Already making some noise under their first-year head coach, and Coach Roby clear about what he wanted. And how about this? As in the closing seconds of the second period, the lead extended by Latona. Two major moments for Latona in that round.
Yeah. Those unanswered takedowns at the end of the period, those are huge, especially when you get 3 points for them.
And here's a look at how things are being scored. You see the difference in that takedown category at 3, and of course you're 2 to 4 somewhere in that range for near falls. Now those are two things that really jump out at you in recent changes in the sport.
Yeah, definitely. And they're trying to increase the excitement level of the sport and encourage more scoring.
Of course, no longer hand-touch takedown. That's the other thing that you keep an eye on. But total adjustments and adjustments that both coaches and most around the sport very pleased with. You never know how they're going to play themselves out, but now wading into the depths of the season, so far so good. What an advantage secured by Virginia Tech's Latona to this point.
Great
Looking
shot
for
there.
more.
Great shot there. Came in on a knee pull single, finishes it quick.
Boy, and now you start talking about those scenarios that you were referencing earlier, a chance to really put yourself in good spots for the duel.
Definitely. He's got the major right now. Just about ready to wrap up, or at least get riding time.
After a tremendous start behind Flynn, a little bit of separation and breathing room for Latona here inside the final minute.
Well, and Coach Roby said he wanted to see, that focus for the entire match, and that's what we've seen out of these first two wrestlers thus far.
Work your way out, as you mentioned, with riding time scenario that's in effect, this trending toward a major. How big is that to have one of those perhaps on the horizon here just a couple of matches into the day?
Oh, I mean, you never know how the match is going to go. You draw it up on paper beforehand, but you've got to get as many of those bonus points as you can early in the duel to start to swing it on your side and get the momentum. So they could be huge. It's big for, especially in a matchup like this. Latona had to come out ready to go against Knox. Knox he's a tough wrestler, so this could be a big major decision for them. One they might not have seen coming.
Well, and starting at 125 has allowed Virginia Tech to make a couple of statements right out of the chute here with the way, to borrow the word we've used a couple of times, the tone has been set in this one.
Yeah,
fans getting in behind Latona as the final seconds roll off. Still in that commanding spot. He said 5-2 to go.
Yeah, Latona came out. He looked sharp and crisp, too. He had some of his takedowns are just really on point. Nice setups, quick finishes. That's what you want to see as the season goes on.
Ends up being the finisher when all is said and done. And how about that? Major to go in behind the opening match victory from Flynn. The combo of Flynn and Latona getting the job done for Virginia Tech in this first sequence. What a start for the Hokies. We'll break away.